en avant, c'est bien, c'est bon, c'est bon. T'as pas forcément besoin de passer, juste passe en avant. Passe en avant, c'est bon. C'est bien là. Come on, Mason, everything you got, everything. Come on. Come on, Mason. Come on, Mason. Seat up, seat up. Seat, seat, Mason. Play open guard. Come on, Mason, 20 seconds. Go, 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 go. Stand. Stand. No. Yes. Yes. No. Get it. Come on. Yes. 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 Whoop. 3 seconds. 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Vai ponto. Vai ponto. Vai ponto.
Attention please. Time to be heavy. Match 9 now. Suleiman. Match 9 now. Roberts David. Match 11 now.
Vai ponto. Vai
Scott
ponto.
Rufus. Match 9 now.
Eita, saiu do ar o match 1, ó. Lascou.
European Championships. What you just saw was the trailer for our next Flow film, Becoming Dangerous, with the rise of Giancarlo Badoni's ADCC run, legendary performance there by him. That comes out next week. Of course, you'll see a lot more on social media, but definitely tune in for that one. Put in a lot of work, and it's an amazing piece of filmmaking. Up next, begin the final Sal. We're going to start things off with the women's categories, moving up from wristweight all the way through the heavier weight classes. So we've been waiting around all day for that, and it's going to be an incredible afternoon of grappling.
Yeah, the finals all set now for both the men's and the women's divisions, and we've got some really interesting ones. Like you said, Chase starting off with the lighter weights and moving up through the divisions. This is the roosterweight final to get things started here. Just waiting for things to kind of get set ringside or mat side before we get going. We've got Thais Loureiro representing Atos versus Jessica Carolini from Ring Jiu-Jitsu. But I think that one of the things I'm most excited for are the absolute finals that are coming up later. We've got two good ones actually, right? We've got the women's is Gabi Pisanya versus Talita Silva. That's actually a rematch of last year's European absolute final that Gabi Pisanya won. And then the men's absolute final is Hidezuki from Fratres Jiu-Jitsu against Kainan Duarte of Atos. And correct me if I'm wrong, Chase, but they competed against each other relatively not too long ago, right? GP?
They were both in the GP, but they did not meet. I believe Gutenberg was the one who ended up defeating Heater. But in any case, yeah, they've both had an incredible weekend. Heater actually fell short in the semis in his weight class to Adam Wardzinski, which is a nice showing from Adam. He'll be in the final later.
I don't want to say that was an upset because Adam obviously was one of the top-seeded men in the bracket, but it's a very interesting result for me, and I think it goes to show how competitive these divisions are when the absolute finalist goes out in the semi-final. Yeah. Kainan's in his weight division final. He's competing at super heavy, and he's going to be going up against, let's see,
I believe
Luis
Marcus
Fernando. Yeah, Luis Fernando from Fratres.
Yeah.
Who's a kind of a new black belt, breaking through onto the scene. His nickname is Cantarera, and been performing really well throughout the covered ranks. I think he's a brown belt Brazilian champion. Been doing pretty good on the domestic Brazilian scene in the black belt ranks so far, but this is, I think.
Vou deixar a tela meio assim para ver se aparece a transmissão com a qualidade melhor. Aí eu volto daqui a pouco.
For Jessica Kahn in opening round. And she's facing Thais Loureiro, who last year's European champion. I want to say this might be Thais' first match of the tournament. If you guys missed the semi-final of the day in the ultra heavyweight category, there's more than just a little bit of controversy there. Mason Fowler ended up taking the win over Saif Oumy. In the last second, literal last seconds of the match, he came up for a sweep, chasing down the back. The match went out of bounds. It was ruled that 2 points would be awarded to Mason for fleeing the map, in Saif's case. And that was met with more than a little protest, let's say.
Yeah, the GF team guys were not happy about what they felt was a
Attention please, checking for the Master 4 female block open class on mat number 2. Pilar Romero, Maria de Socorro Alves. Liu Williams, Claudia Patricia Lacerda. Stamatia Paganopoulos.
Attention please, Portsmouth 8, Karim Shah, Angel Cicero, Eugene Diaz, Diogo Oliveira, please come check in mat 8.
Attention please. Black belt, Master 3, open class, Thiago Alves Rocha, Didier Martial, please check in now.
Attention please, Renato Binder, Grace Massora, check in out mat number 4. Sandra Espigite.
Atenção, Thiago Alves Rocha, Grace Maitá, please check in now. Attention, please. Rogério Suco, please check in now. Ahmed Sheikhalet, Jeff Team, please check in now.
Julius Baranski, please come to the podium.
Attention, please. Thiago Alves Rocha, Grace Maitá, please check in now.
Attention, please, your match period. Check in out number 7. Check. May I have your attention, please, on mat number 10. Abu Sumail, black belt, wristweight division. Representing Atos Jiu-Jitsu, Thaís Loureiro Felipe. Representing Ring BJJ, Jessica Carolina Coelho Bantas. Final match.
All right, and we are underway here with our very first final of the afternoon. All eyes have turned to mat 10. We have Thais Loureiro in the blue gi, Jessica Dantes in the white.
Double guard pull and aggressively trying to dive past or run past the guard there was Jessica Carolini representing Ring Jiu-Jitsu. She's in the white, as you said. Very different physical figure. She's very tall and long compared to her opponent. And I think she was using that range, long arms to kind of throw the legs by and try to run past the guard. Oh wow, you see how long her legs are. She's able to close a body triangle from the closed guard. It's currently 0-0, one advantage in favor of Jessica Carolini. There's no scoreboard on the screen right now. We should be able to bring that up soon. But,
I think she's got a body triangle with room to spare. I mean, there's a long length here and height advantage for Jessica Carolini. But Thais, very powerful. I remember mentioning this last year during the finals where she's also a competitive CrossFit athlete. And you can see picking up Carolini with relative ease there. Really strong base.
It's amazing, actually, that Thais is, she stood. Obviously, her posture is forward, but so long as Jessica Carolina, she was able to keep her closed guard still locked, even when her opponent was on her feet. But this is better for Thais. But in answer to opening the guard and to try and drive through with this knee, her opponent, Jessica Carolini, has wrapped a lapel around her lower leg. Could slow her down.
Nice look at a stack pass here from Thais, but Carolina is able to adjust the position there a little bit, getting her back on the mat.
Guard versus guard here in this position, both hips on the mat. Neither opponent has come up. If just Jessica Carolini was to come up, disengage from this entanglement, and was to come up on top, she would get 2 because she started out this sequence on bottom from the closed guard. If Thais disengages and come up on top, she won't receive any points. Got a real entanglement going on here, not just the legs, but you see there's the lapel. Jessica has the right lapel, the left lapel in her right hand. It's over the top of her own leg and kind of around the bottom of Thais' left leg. And then she's using the lasso on the opposite side. It's going to be it's going to be hard work to find your way out of that position.
Yeah, she's definitely tied up Thais for the moment here, but also has restricted her own movement a little bit, that right leg of her own with the lapel. But Thais comes up now.
There's a good stack pass here for Thais Loureiro. She's got the knees pretty close together as well, and that's important with the stack pass. Back into this closed guard is Jessica Carolini, but she still has that lapel active. It's wrapped around her shin, and she's cross gripping it. Oh, okay, she's gone back to same side grip. That's tough for Thais now. She can't go forward, she can't go back. She's basically stuck where she is. She's in this middle ground.
Carolini not really advancing her guard very much or changing grips. She's sort of content to hold for the moment, it seems.
And in fact, she kind of has like a double lasso, right? She has the lasso on the left leg, opens it up now, but she had a lasso on the left leg, and the same kind of principle on the other side with the lapel. I think this is better for Thais. She's persistent with this double underpass.
Yeah, pressure passing is a good response to when someone is insistent on the lapel work, because really you need tension on the lapel for it to be doing anything, and if you close the space, well, you may be stuck, but they're not necessarily leading you around the mat, which sometimes happens when you try and posture out of the lapel or break away, let's say. You can see here now the lapel coming a little more effect. Nice little tilt there from Carolini. Seems to be trying to drag the lapel further across, but Thais regains some posture here. And we'll reset here in the middle of the mat. Well, a penalty has appeared here for Carolini. Won't factor in unless Thais is able to acquire an advantage somewhere. Then that flips the result.
Yeah, I think that's a fair penalty. I think there was even an argument for doing something about that earlier in the match, you know. I think I was kind of wondering what Jessica's strategy would be here and what she intended to do from this guard that she had, and the truth is that she hasn't really kind of made any real efforts to unbalance or to attack her opponent. Just been holding her in position, and it's not really, I don't know, it doesn't really seem like an effective strategy. But ahead on the score, maybe she was thinking that she would just kind of hold on to that. She's closed the guard again. She also has a ankle lock grip around one leg and a pant grip on the other. Back open guard, but last 30 seconds here, the Thais hasn't been able to pass the guard until this point. I don't think she's going to pass it now. Interesting sequence of grips being used by Jessica Carolini for sure, but at the same time, I think maybe we would like to have seen her open up a little bit more and try some different attacks with it. She had some really good grips. I was expecting her to maybe shoot up and maybe go for like a triangle or something, you know, because she's got the long legs and she had kind of the lapel overwrap. It looked to me like maybe that's what she was thinking about, going high for a triangle, especially against like a stack pass, trying to get one arm in, one arm out, but match ended up playing out a different way.
Congratulations to our very first 2023 IWGF European champion, Jessica Carolini Dantas. Big win for her. You can see the celebration taking place there. Next up, we're going to have our light featherweight final. This is a very competitive rivalry taking place here. Maisa Bastos and Brenda Heller. A rematch from the 2022 World Championship, though.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. All right, here we go. Maisa Bastos, I think one of the best-known female black belt competitors of the last couple of years. Really been head and shoulders above the majority of the competition. And I would say that Brenda Larissa, the Manaus native fighting from Melky Galvao's jiu-jitsu competition team, I think that she's one of the few people who's really been able to offer Maisa Caldas a challenge, a true challenge.
Yeah, she's risen to the occasion and really given Maisa some tough battles. One thing I love about Maisa's game is that she really utilizes a lot of pressure passing. You know, sometimes you don't see a lot of that in the lighter weight classes, and she has made it a big part of her game.
Yeah.
And uses it also to dive under, to chase the back, things like that. But she has amazing top game, I would say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's maybe best known as like a Parambolo kind of, you know, guard player, loves her inversions and stuff. But you're absolutely right. She has the top game to match. She's by no means one-dimensional. And you see this pressure passing. She's very aggressive forward motion. And there it is. She's going to score the pass right there. Was able to break free of that pant grip that was slowing her down. And Maisa Bastos, in just over 1 minute, has managed to secure a 3-point guard pass. And I would say that was there was an aggression and there was an energy behind that we haven't seen from her for a little while, because I think she understands the threat that Brenda Larissa poses. She understands how dangerous and how difficult an opponent she can be. So she's like, I got to make a mark on this match as soon as I can.
Mice is awarded an advantage for the Neon Belly attempt. No sweep points or anything like that for Brenda here. She has not come on top, and I think that would be considered a reversal, if anything else.
Kind of hard to see with the referee in this angle exactly what the control points that they have are. Maybe we can switch camera angles. A little unclear.
Just control her leg, 8 seconds. Low. Up, lower legs. Nice.
Okay, back on top, and I mean, Maisa Bastos had such success with her guard passing earlier in this match, and I feel like once again she's aggressively breaking down Brenda Larissa's defenses rather than just hanging out and trying to technically wait for an opening. It's very different, you know. It's you'll see that some people will almost sit in the guard and they'll allow somebody to get their grips, and then they'll try and counter off their movements. Quite the opposite. Brenda is basically she's trying to get her attack point, positions, and she's setting those things up. And every time she does, Maisa's just like stripping the grips. She's cutting the angles. Look at that once again. You know, she's throwing the legs around. She's forcing inversions, forcing recoveries.
Yeah, Maisa is definitely not coasting on a lead, for example. She's pushing the action here, but Brenda seems to have found her footing a little bit more in this match, firing back with some intensity here. But she's got a considerable deficit to make up at 5 points and an advantage for Maisa Bastos currently with 6 minutes left.
Yeah, 50-50 guard here. You see Brenda Larissa has her legs triangled around the thigh. The ankle is across the body. See a lapel kind of floating around there. I'm wondering if we'll see her try and bring that into the mix. She does knock Maisa Bastos back. There you go. She'll build a base. That should be worth the 2 points. Yep, she gets the 2s. The score's now 5 points to 2. But Maisa Bastos knocks her back, and yeah, it's even right now in terms of the sweeps back and forth. Maisa Bastos 7 points to 2.
Maisa looking at this toe hold here. Can be a pretty brutal submission actually when figured forward. Adds a little extra torque, can really create a painful situation for the player being attacked.
Oh, I like that from what Brenda Larissa's done. She's put her the outside leg, the hook and the shin in the back of the knee. She's trying to disengage from the 50-50 there. There she goes. She's out. And she comes up on top. That's going to be 2. And she's into like a passing sequence of her own now. All right, so 7 points to 4. Still one advantage as well for Maisa Bastos. And this is the first time we've really seen Brenda Larissa kind of on top in like the open guard. And we'll see what her approach is compared to Maisa's earlier, because Maisa was very aggressive in dealing with her opponent from top. Brenda Larissa a little more hesitant. You can see here she's kind of hanging out in that middle ground. She's not driving forward quite as aggressively.
See, Maisa throws in a De La Riva hook, inverts, doing what she does best, which is the berimbolo.
There's a little replay of that sweeping sequence that took them out of bounds. Maisa inverting underneath with the De La Riva hook. You can see she's trying to go for the berimbolo. Brenda tracks the movement. Spin twice out of bounds. And we were talking earlier about certain athletes changing up their training circumstances. And Maisa Bastos, she's officially down as representing Unity Jiu-Jitsu, but she's had a change of circumstances as well, correct, Chase?
Yeah, she's recently been seen training a little bit at the Art of Jiu-Jitsu as well, and hasn't really talked about what prompted that visit, but I believe that things are still unknown exactly what's happening there. But Marilla Santana is in the corner.
Oh, that's interesting. So even though she had her training camp at AOJ, she's still representing Unity, and she still has Murillo coaching her. That's interesting.
So it could just be a vacation.
It could be, or just nice little exchange of. Yeah, that's the thing about the jiu-jitsu community. People are quite open to doing that. Some teams more than others. It's Maisa trying to draw her opponent's leg into what looks like a 50-50 style position here, but a little different. She's got the foot on the hip, and the outside leg is hooking underneath the thigh.
Oh, here we go. Crab ride from Maisa Bastos.
Wow, that's good work there. Look at the way that she's reaching up with the hands. Oh, I like that. Grabbing the sleeve, exposing the upper body, both hooks in. She climbed her way up from the crab ride. She reached up with the right hand and took the collar, brought it down. She opened up space for the hooks with the other hand, opening the arm away. And she's on the collar around the neck here. The grip is underneath the arm, so it's not a choking grip, but that's a very solid position to hang on to. And she's now boosted her points lead, so she's now 11 points to 4. And Brenda Larissa actually escapes. That's incredible. She manages to spin and to turn around inside the closed guard. It looks like she's going for the Ezekiel choke from inside the closed guard, Chase.
Hey, you got to make it happen. You're down on points with 20 seconds left.
Wow.
Might as well go for broke.
I mean, it's not that move doesn't work. It absolutely does. You just don't see it very often. That's That was a huge move by Maisa Bastos there in the last minute of the match to be able to pull out that back take like that. That was really something special.
Yeah, the second that Brenda Larissa released the ankle grip, boom, she was inverted, going for the crab ride. With a dominant win there, 11-4. Maisa Bastos' 2023 season starting off just where it left and last year, the top of the podium.
Just a few seconds away from the next women's featherweight, women's final match. It's the featherweight final. You got Ana Rodriguez representing Dream Art in the white gi. You can see there on screen, right there at Matt's side. She's going to be going up against Andrea Cavalcanti, the ZR team.
And Ana Rodriguez is ready to go, stalking her opponent before the time even begins.
That's her style, right?
Yeah, super aggressive. And it doesn't stop there. The passing sequences have begun.
So in white is Ana Rodriguez of Dream Art. And on top, look at that. She's almost got like a guard pass that's pretty close to clearing that near side leg. Switches her grips, picks up the hips instead. Likely to try and force a back take from this position. Aggressive, physical.
Yeah, very strong stack here from A-Rod. Recently joined the new, or not joined, but moved with Dream Art to Houston. They opened a school there and has been training quite a bit with the squad out that way.
Yeah, I do believe that she's back in Sao Paulo at the moment, or at least, you know, immediately prior to this European Championships. But you're right, this Dream Arts very quickly rose to prominence as one of the top teams in Jiu-Jitsu, you know, after separating from Alliance, and very quickly established themselves as one of the top teams, and in the recent months have started opening satellite schools in various locations in Texas and soon to be elsewhere. And look at this.
This is very close to a guard pass.
Yeah, here we go. She's cleared that near side leg. There it is. Hands go up from the referee. 3 points. There's a replay of that guard pass. She kept the pressure on for a while.
Rodriguez immediately countering this guard pull here. Another nice stack pass sequence in action here. Good work from Cavalcanti, though, to not just accept the stack. Start throwing up a little offense there, disrupting the rhythm of Rodriguez.
That's a guard pull with no grips. That could potentially be a penalty. She stayed down quite a while there, did Cavalcanti. I'm surprised that she didn't get at least a warning.
I think there's no mistake that Rodriguez has a clear strategy in this match with her passing. She's hit this sequence nearly for the third time. But let's see if Cavalcanti can recover the guard here.
I think we may see, there, you can see the hand going across the upper body, trying to reach through to maybe the far hip or the underhook. It's kind of side stack. It's interesting, right? She's basically got the stack, but she's cut such an angle. She'd either fall straight into side control, or if her opponent elects to roll, I think she would just go straight to the back. You can see the pressure on there. I mean, look at that. She's all the way around now, but okay, that should be 3. Back is flat on the mat. Yeah, 6 points to 0. The official scoreboard does say 6 points and 2 advantages. And she's, for the second time, in the side control. And we'll look at the podium as well, Chase.
Very nice. A-Rod looking very composed here on top.
That's the podium from the women's black belt roosterweight division that you can see right there. Oh, wow. Hang on. We need to go back.
Going on
the submission is on. We need to get a shot of this. Go back to the main shot. Look at this. Ana Rodriguez. She has the grip. She has the collar underneath the neck. She's gone high with the leg on the top of the head to create extra leverage. I don't know quite what is lacking there, but I think she may even switch for an arm. Wow. I don't know how Cavalcanti survived that. And not only survived, escapes and is immediately on the attack. Wow. I have no idea how she got out of that choke, Chase.
Yeah, great show of heart there from Cavalcanti. Still playing left in the tank there. Immediately went on the attack after getting out. And you see a replay there, that last little scramble. Cavalcanti's fired up. Aggressive guard pull.
Yeah, Ana Rodriguez
right back to the stack.
It's worked so well for her in this match, right?
Absolutely. Cavalcanti trying to maybe find a counter somewhere, but A-Rod really looking in control here. A little bit of the knee on shoulder. It's a difficult position to find yourself in as a bottom player.
It's amazing how she's able to go so far around the guard in this stack. And she's dropping her right knee onto the kind of the shoulder, the front of the shoulder, collarbone area of her opponent. That's a lot of pressure. Oh, and she's got the hand in the collar as well. You can actually see it on the reverse. There it is, the angle. Man, A-Rod, that's just nasty.
Yeah, that's mean. But this is jiu-jitsu, and sometimes that happens. And this could almost be a finish here, honestly. It could be the neon neck style finish.
You see the pressure. You see the pressure on her face. Look at Cavalcante's face. She's suffering under there for sure. She has her legs triangled. It's actually just a collar grip. She's got reaching through her own legs, and she has a grip of the collar. There's nothing hanging on really. And A-Rod is like, she is putting on so much pressure here. Not even in a rush to finish the guard pass. I think she's happy just to punish her opponent here.
Cavalcante looking pretty composed, though. She'll need to, I think, make the adjustment because A-Rod's content there. She releases the figure four, giving Anna pass points. And now there's a Kimura in action here.
Oh, yeah. She managed to get separation from the hands there for a moment, but she didn't rip it on. She didn't go for the Kimura or the armbar just yet. In fact, look at this. She's just gone straight back to the knee on the chin, on the jaw this time, and the side of the head, while maintaining that grip of the arm. She's not making any rash movements here. She wants to thoroughly lock in her opponent before she goes for a finish. 9 points to 0, 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, very thorough approach here from A-Rod.
Almost allowing Cavalcante to go belly down here. And communicating directly with her coach, Isaac Bayens, in the corner's chair. Like literally having a conversation with him as she's fighting here. I like this. Yeah, that was a nice use of the hooks on the back of the leg to transition to this back take. She's got one hook in. There's a hand around the collar again. Oh, wow. Wait, hang on. What's going on here? We've lost the shot. There's a submission in play here. We need to see what's happening. It looks like she's got the choke. She's gone really high. Can't quite see from this angle. Yeah, she's tapped with the foot. Ana Rodriguez in the final minute of the match. 13-0 and a submission. Wow, that's a big win. Not her first IBJJF gold medal at the European Championships, right?
No, A-Rod quickly becoming one of the most dominant champions in the IBJJF today. Sealed the win with authority out there. Really took her time. Put up 13 points. Really smooth, clean work from the Dream Art representative.
Yeah, I believe that's her third European IBJJF gold medal. Definitely some showmanship from Ana Rodriguez in a resounding win.
Okay, and our next final will be underway shortly. We have Luisa Montero from Atos in the blue gi versus Tata Ribeiro of Checkmat in the white. These two know each other quite well, have a bit of history.
Very well.
And it's always very exciting how.
I think they've probably lost count of the amount of times they've competed against each other, right, Chase?
Yeah, and it's always a little bit different each time.
Yeah, they're both very dynamic competitors with both, in some ways, similar styles, and then in some ways, very different styles, you know. They both have great spider guards. They both have very flexible spider guards. The match is often won and lost by the person who really stamps their authority on the match first. Oh, we see.
Tata's going for a toe hold early. We thought about one. Now it's Luisa firing back with a toe hold of her own.
Oh, she's gone on the straight knee bar as well.
Now Tata goes for a straight ankle lock.
Oh, wow. They're just firing these off.
See, Luisa captures the advantage here in this case. Also, it's important to note that they're near the edge of the mat. Any toe holds that roll out of bounds could result in some points.
Falling into this 50-50 here is often a consequence of, you know, trading leg locks, right? Very common to kind of end up in this position. Yeah, they were wasting no time there in getting after something. I mean, Luisa was diving through, trying for a knee cut, and then Tata's like firing back with a leg lock, and Luisa's like, I'm gonna go for the leg lock, and two points to two. There's a picture of Ricardo Vieira, one of the co-founders of the Checkmat team. He's coaching Natalie Ribeiro in this finals match here, the lightweight division, the 2023 IBJJF European Championships. Based here in Europe is Ricardo Vieira. Right on the edge of bounds, they'll get reset into the center. This is turning into something of a 50-50 match. We'll see how this progresses. Oh, there's Andre Galvao in the corner of Luisa Montero. Andre Galvao, of course, co-founder of the Atos team and head of the San Diego headquarters, where Luisa Montero is based out of and trains. Probably one of the deepest rooms in the world.
Yeah, without question.
There's just so many high-level black belts in that room, right?
Probably close to 10 world champions every day on the mats in there. It's pretty wild. At black belt.
Yeah, ADCC champions, IBJJF champions, you name it, they've got it.
All right, so Tata has managed to maybe improve her position a little bit from the straight 50-50. There's a little bit of an elevation possibility here.
Yeah, she's trying to go underneath in a kind of X. And there you can see she tried to put the leg on her shoulder and put it on the shelf, but she does manage to build the base, come up, and is chasing the back of that reversal. So she'll score 2 for that. And had a look at the back there for a second, but Luisa Montero was quick to recover.
Yeah, and that was a great adjustment at the very end of that scramble to avoid being tipped over. But as we just missed here, Luisa Montero came up on top. So very, very evenly paced match. Luisa Montero up by 1 advantage here, 4 points apiece.
Yeah.
Luisa now coming with some pressure here with the crossface. But you can see the lapel in action here from Tata Ribeiro, hoping to alleviate a little bit of that.
Yeah, what is this? Is half? No, it's half guard. I was trying to work out the leg positioning. Tata Ribeiro has a really compromised half guard position because Luisa Montero has the near side underhook. Shout out Sean Williams. I know he loves that position. She's got the near side underhook. She's kind of tripoding pretty high. She's looking to drive her knee across to the far side. And she does so. She's into like a 3/4 mount. Goes double underhooks now. Big elbow separation away from the upper body.
Right into mount.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's 7 points right there. 3 for the pass, 4 for the mount, and in very much a good position. Complete control. It's kind of weird. I was looking at Natalie Ribeiro's half guard position, and she was facing away, and she was using that like spider in the lapel, and I was kind of like, I couldn't even see it was a real half guard. It's an unusual and unorthodox reaction to that position. Of course, you know, usually you want to turn in to your opponent and keep a lock around their legs, but she had her half guard so wide open that when Luisa was able to pummel and get those underhooks, I mean, she was able to just drive right through that open guard and go straight into the top position.
Yeah, Luisa taking a very methodical approach on top here. Looking to maybe drive one of the arms across. Also saw her feed the lapel, look like, behind the neck to reinforce that crossface.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what she was doing with that lapel. It's kind of hard to see sometimes.
Nice bump from Tata. Ends up on top.
Oh, you can actually see the lapel grip from there now. That's what she did. She passed it around from the armpit, up and around the back of the head. Probably was going to use it to go for like some kind of, oh, the hair is, the ponytail is stuck. She was probably going to use it for some kind of Brabau style, you know, Guy Brabau style choke. But it's kind of hard to see obscured sometimes in that mount position. But she still got the lapel in action. Oh, lets it go now, but it's going to be tough for Natalie Ribeiro to get out of this closed guard now with about 2.5 minutes remaining. Down 7 points.
Yeah, there have been some great scrambles in this match, a lot of interesting exchanges here. And now Luisa can definitely take her time. 7-point lead, 2 minutes left. Absolutely no reason to take any real risks here. Tata Ribeiro has a tough situation being stuck in this closed guard. We see her build a base, go to her feet. But she's going to have to really put her foot on the gas if she's going to make up those points.
Yeah, she has to deal with these grips as well. She's managed to get the knee up the middle. She drops down, and the guard opens. Luisa Montero's got a great open guard. She's really well known for her spider guard style attacks. Pummels her leg inside. She's got double inside position with both feet. Pant grip on one side, going high with the collar grip. as we're down into the final 35 seconds. Oh, there's another
Tata really cranking on
strong
his toe hold here.
Yeah, that's a decent look at a leg lock, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
She's really, I mean, the heel is close to the butt of Luisa Montero.
She is definitely getting some good torque on that.
Has to be a little careful with that foot positioning, I think. But
knee
dropped
bar.
up for a knee bar.
She briefly had extension, but Luisa was able to turn the foot, and now Natalie Ribeiro switches to a belly down Achilles. But I think it's too little, too late, unfortunately. Last 10 seconds, and Luisa Montero should take this one. Yep. 11 points to 4. Big win for the Atos black belt. Great show of mutual respect there at the end as well. That's what it's all about. We love to see it. Amazing to see Luisa Montero, a veteran of the sport at this point, still taking titles in major tournaments.
Toledo will also be competing in the absolute final a little bit later today. And if you've watched any of Toledo's matches, you'll know that she has a great pressure passing style. Hips always very high in the air. Over-unders, double unders, etc. A really powerful player here. It's been a great weekend so far for Vanessa Griffith. She's able to get a great victory over Elizabeth Clay, someone she's had some difficulty with in the past, as she made her way to the final here in the middleweight category. And there we see Toledo making these small adjustments here, getting a lapel grip around the thigh there of Vanessa Griffith. Toledo's style is really a passing scenario where she takes her time and really, really breaks down her opponent's frames and guard, compresses them to the point where the guard pass almost looks like it comes instantly after moments of sort of tedious progression forward. Then all of a sudden she's fully past the guard. You see her really trying to stack Vanessa here. But Vanessa's doing a nice job of keeping away, trying to frame with her foot, and maintaining some grips on the sleeves there. Oh, big stack there from Toledo Lima. Right on the edge of the mat, though, and we're going to see a reset. The power of Lima showing through there in that moment. Look at Lima try and slide underneath now the legs before switching back to the stacking approach she had. You see a little better scenario now for Vanessa. She still can't find a way, though, to really engage her left leg in a meaningful way. I'm sure she'd love to get a frame, put her foot on the chest of Toledo, or anywhere besides the shoulder, I should say. Have it draped over her Toledo's shoulder. You can see it. Zaki Bahien's there in the corner of Toledo Lima. One of the key figures at Dream Art. Was also in the corner earlier for Ana Rodriguez and her successful title run here today. Zaki will be competing in a 30-minute super fight with Tynan Dalpra later this year. That has some unfinished business, as they fought in the world's final a couple years ago with Tynan taking the win. Still scoreless over half the match. Vanessa has really not been able to get off a lot of offense. Toledo's been trying. But now we see her threading the De La Riva hook. Definitely remaining composed under pressure is Vanessa Griffin. Quick look at a throw by from Lima on the edge of the mat there, but opts to go back to the double unders approach, and we'll be reset here in the middle of the match. And you have to think both athletes out there may be considering what tweaks they need to make here in the dying minutes of this match. At this point, I think either would love to try and secure an advantage at any cost, any way possible. And both athletes are being assigned penalties. Our referee would like to see a little more action here in the middle. You see Toledo maybe try to slide underneath the legs. It's one way to make the double unders work for you. That's a little bit different than strictly stacking. Now a little more space for Toledo here. Backs out of the guard briefly, then dives right back in. Toledo now switching up for the over-under approach. Can she secure an advantage here in the last 10 seconds of the match? And there you have it. Our champion is Toledo Lima by referee's decision. We'll be right back with the next final. Stay tuned. Okay, we're on to our next final here. Maria Maui-Jacek in the blue gi Sabata lies in the white. Sabata opening up the strong passing sequence here, but Maria has some great leg locks from these inversions. She actually turns this maybe into a little bit of a sweep here.
This is the medium heavyweight division. Sabata lies. That was an unusual, unorthodox attack, but I feel like it was a little risky because Maria has kind of halfway around to the back and aggressively dumping Sabata lies down to the mat. Let's a quick look at how she almost ran
here, but Maria has some great leg locks from these inversions. She actually turns this maybe into a little bit of a sweep here.
This is the medium heavyweight division. Sabata lies. That was an unusual, unorthodox attack, but I feel like it was a little risky because Maria has kind of halfway around to the back and aggressively dumping Sabata lies down to the mat. Let's a quick look at how she almost ran around the guard. The action has resumed. We should get back to it. The medium heavyweight division. I think Sabata lies wants to slow things down. She's putting Maria into the closed guard. You've seen a lot of this double lasso style this weekend. It's not just in the women's finals, in all matches, all divisions. It's very common to see people use that double sleeve control and then put the shins inside the biceps on both sides and take one out, try to destabilize, unbalance, put it back in. That's exactly what we're seeing right here. And this double lasso is very, very tough to find a way out of if you are the person on top. It's so hard to strip those grips. One lasso is hard enough. Two lassos, that's tough.
Yeah, it's really difficult, and really it's almost up to the bottom player to release one because they have to in order to make a meaningful attack. So it's sort of this timing issue that's in play there. You can see Sabata's opted to use that left leg as more of a pushing tool at this point. But she's lost the ground there to put it in front of Maria. There she replaces the flip. Maria trying to power through now, maybe switching directions here.
Yeah, that's better. She's managed to get that one leg kind of stuffed down in the middle. That top butterfly hook comes in though. She switches directions in response. Back into this lasso on one side. Looks like she's got the foot in the bicep. There it is. Yep, you can see an extension out of the spider lasso. Maria does a good job of addressing that by driving the knee and stuffing that down through. And the butterfly hook becomes more of a frame now, the shin pushing across the upper body.
I'm liking the pressure from Marie on top here, kind of collapsing in the knees together. They are near the edge of the mat. Nice footwork from Maria there. But we'll see a reset here, I think, any second. This is good. Maria's looking for the knee cut here. Sabatha briefly had the lapel in play. Let it go though, and now has a collar and is able to recompose a nearly closed guard. And they'll reset in the middle here.
Sabatha definitely playing the more conservatively of the two. Maria is pretty aggressive when she gets going, and that early start to the match when she kind of threw Sabatha from one side of the mat to the other and out of bounds. I think Sabatha maybe felt something. She's like, hey, I need to tie her up. I need to slow things down a bit here.
Okay. Brief look at climbing the guard up high, but it's forced to reset. Ooh, smash pass set up here.
Oh yeah, this is nice work.
Maria driving forward, trying to climb up here.
Oh, that's really nice. She managed to get a lock around the body. She was on top of the thigh, and she's basically just gone directly over the guard, straight into the mount. That's 7 points right there.
Yeah, beautiful work off the smash pass there.
That was, we've been talking about this earlier, right? She's chaining the techniques together, chaining the guard passes. She had no real success with the long distance passing, but she had to use it to kind of get the legs into a position where she could really lock things down and move into a good position, and that's exactly what she's done here.
Okay, head and arm strokes in play. Sabatha forced to go belly down. Briefly eliminates the choking pressure from that first attack, but definitely in a tough spot here now. And there's the finish.
Wow, I didn't even see the tap. Couldn't quite see what the choke was, if it was a collar underneath the chin, but we have another European-born European champion here at the 2023 IBJJF Euros. The Polish grappler, now based in the United States, representing Admar Barboza. Yeah, we got a gold medalist.
Yeah, really strong work there.
Yeah, that's a way to finish a match for sure. female heavyweight final up next. In the white is Elizabeth Mitrovic. And in the blue is Amanda de Oliveira. Okay, here we go. Heavyweight match. Oliveira in the blue, Mitrovic in the white.
Quick guard pull from Mitrovic there. Already threading into De La Riva. Kind of looking at Baby Bolo maybe, around to the back.
Is the podium shot. Luis Montero claiming her gold medal in the women's lightweight division. Another one for the the very, very full trophy case at Atos Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes. And here we see Mitrovic kind of ramping up the intensity here on these attacks. Oliveira, a little flustered it seems by this De La Riva hook. Hasn't been able to really strip it.
It is tough when you get a lanky player like that put in that De La Riva hook, especially with the overwrap, the ankle lock or overwrap that she has. Because you can't kick away, you can't just run out and rip your foot out. And when they have that long leg, it's sometimes difficult to push forward, but she seems to be, yeah, she was having to look at it there, trying to drive the knee forward, but Mitrovic is very active with the free leg, and she's also got a collar in play as well, it seems. So she not only does she have the overwrap of the ankle, but she's also passed the collar, the bottom of the lapel all the way through to aid that kind of grip, and that's going to affect the posture of Oliveira.
Oliveira now looking to enact a nice little stack pass here. But Mitrovic has great flexibility.
Yeah. That said, very few people can hang out in a position like that indefinitely. It takes its toll. Okay, that's a little bit better there from Oliveira. She managed to get the hips momentarily up. Almost looked like she was going to force the roll, but Mitrovic was able to throw her hips back and lock in the closed guard. trying to go for the sleeve drag. She's got the cross grip of the wrist hanging onto the sleeve. Mitrovic is trying to pull that arm across the center line. She's got the left hand inside the collar, cross grip. Common for setting up attacks such as the...
That's a unique.
Ooh.
2-on-1 setup there.
Yeah, I was going to say it looked like she was maybe going to go for just a classic armbar, but then you're right, she passed it over the back of her own head and briefly had an overwrap. And
Quick
now,
look at her wrestle up there.
yeah, Oliveira finally breaks free. She's been stuck in the guard in one thing or another now for about half this match. And she finally has some distance to work with. Let's see if she's able to enact some long-range passing or if she will pass into the guard, but on her own terms. Oh, penalty against both competitors there. Got to stay busy. Okay, they rolled through a couple of times toward the edge of the mat. Looks like Mitrovic was going to try and go for a straight ankle, and Oliveira was able to answer, but they're going to go out of bounds in this scramble. Neutral reset.
Nice inversion from Mitrovic there. But Oliveira rolls through with it. Oh, lumberjack sweep almost paving the way for our first positive points here, or advantages. But we'll be reset here in the middle of the mat.
Yeah, there's only one penalty on the scoreboard against Oliveira. I actually thought that there was a double penalty issued. And there's the podium for the medium heavyweight division. Talita Silva takes the gold. She beat Vanessa Griffin in the final. And she will return later for the absolute final. Now you see that overwrap again, that Elizabeth Mitrovic has passed the sleeve grip over the top of her own head and around, and she's managed to wrap it up with her left arm in a deep overhook. And you can see that Oliveira knows that it's in trouble, so she kind of rips it out. She postures up aggressively and manages to get it out. And she's really concerned here at just getting out of that closed guard. It seems like it's a pretty tricky place to be. And it's 3 minutes remaining. There's still only one penalty. Oh, there's a toe hold attack. Oh, she gets it. Yeah, Oliveira, you could tell that there was a change in pace. She was, I think she was just frustrated with being stuck inside the guard for so long. So what happens is she, you know, the moment she got it broken, dived on that toe hold. And there you have it.
Yeah, great recognition of the opportunity there. Did not waste any time jumping on that toe hold. Okay, we're moving on here to the super heavyweight final. We have Gabby Pisagna in the blue gi, Claire France Thevenon in the white. And Gabby Pisagna really is one of the most dominant athletes in jiu-jitsu today. She's one of the first athletes to ever double Grand Slam in a single, which is winning every major in your weight class and the absolute division throughout the whole season. She will be back today, also in the absolute final, so she's looking to maybe do a repeat of that feat. And so far, this final is going exactly how she might have hoped. These two have fought a few different times, with Gabby Pisagna getting the better of those exchanges. And Gabby just so clean, moving into this kind of three-quarter mount, maybe dropping off for the back here. Nice adjustment. Still only has the one hook. Also seems to be making some grips around the neck and collar. She's threaded both hooks in here. The referees have awarded her 4 points, and now she'll start to focus on the submission here. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to actually get all the way underneath the chin when someone's completely flattened out like this. But Gabby has all the time in the world to try and get that done. Yeah, and this looks like it's coming pretty close here. She goes to adjust the collar, make that a little tighter. Now going for maybe the one arm rear naked choke. And there's the tap. There you have your three-time European champion, Gabby Pisagna. And we'll see if she can go for 4 in about an hour and a half. Coming up next, we're going to have our first male final. We're going to have Kainan Duarte come out against Luis Fernando Oliveira. That's the super heavyweight final, as Kainan will be competing later in the absolute. We'll be right back. All right, we're on to the next final here. These two actually met in the absolute brackets earlier this weekend. Luis Cantaria there in the white gi gave Kainan one of his toughest matches, actually, before Kainan was able to turn the tide there and get the win. The Fratres athlete has a really impressive color belt career, including being a Brazilian national champion back in 2020. Or excuse me, 2021. say it's safe to assume most jiu-jitsu fans know more than a little bit about Kaynan Duarte, world champion in just about every major organization there is.
You know, Chase, the size difference just blows me away. Like, Kaynan is not small, and he's moving up to a super heavyweight, so of course he's competing against maybe some guys that are bigger than you might normally see him against, but Oliveira is a big boy.
Yeah, and he uses his length quite well. I think he actually surprised Kaynan a bit in their first match this weekend in the Absolute. Had him in a kind of a weird turtle attack, actually. Kaynan was forced to scramble out and eventually finished that match to Kaynan with a cross-collar choke from Mount, but
Yeah, he was one of the few guys that was actually able to get Kaynan out of position for a minute there, and
that says a lot.
That does say a lot. Not many people can do that. That's an achievement in itself. But he's got an unusual nickname, I believe.
Oh, sweeps Kaynan, potentially. Kaynan reacts nicely, though. That should be good for an advantage, and there you see it come on the board.
Yeah, his nickname is Cantareira in Portuguese, and something to do with a river is the origin of his nickname. I actually heard his teammates behind us when he was competing earlier in his weight division kind of calling him that, and quite a unique nickname. The Brazilians are known for their unique nicknames. Just coming up to the 3-minute mark. There's just one advantage on the board for Cantareira in the whites. Kaynan elects to pull guard. A nice lumberjack sweep directly into the mount. Drops off the arm.
Oh, that looks extended. There's a tap.
What an incredible, just an incredible finishing sequence. One smooth move for Kaynan Duarte. Lumberjack sweep, scoops inside the leg, hip bump over into the mount, drops off for the armbar. Fantastic. That's just world-class technique right there.
So smooth. Zero wasted effort.
Incredible. I'd love to see a replay of the full sequence if we could, really, from the sweep right through to the finish, to the tap. That was just so good. He really is a special talent. Kaynan is just next level. And he'll be back later for the absolute final as well against Hidezuki. Roostweight final will be coming up in just a minute here. Talison Suarez versus Wellison Gonçalves on deck. They'll be up any second. Well, here we go. In the white is Wellison Gonçalves. In the blue, Talison Suarez. And immediately a very quick start, but it takes them out of bounds, and therefore they will be reset in a neutral standing position. Again, double guard pull. This time it's Talison who comes up aggressively. Good use of the pant grip there, controlling the near side leg, but interestingly the way that he wrapped over his opponent's other leg, around his opponent's other leg, has put him into this really compromised position, and he actually has a leg weave. He has his right knee behind the thigh and on the mat over the other leg. There you go, it's a perfect view of it right there. That pant grip probably slow him down a little bit. Gonçalves may not be able to hold on to it too long. Nice use of the windshield wiper motion to free his leg. Talison's into almost a three-quarter mount. Good elevation there from Gonçalves in recovering position, getting back into the relative safety of the open guard. Talison Suarez circling with that cross grip of the pants. And again, dives the knee through, leg weave position. He wants to smash that top leg, keep the weight on it, keep it down, make it an ineffective frame, clear that bottom leg out of the way. And he has so many options here. I mean, you can backstep over the top of it. You can just knee cut over the top of the top leg. You can go directly into the mount. And he's working his way up, controlling the upper body. There you go, goes for a waist lock. And Gonçalves feels that. He tries to build the base, get up and turn away. But in the process, I mean, we're starting to see some back exposure here now. A strong start for Talison Suarez so far. I mean, we're just over 2 minutes in. He's got 2 advantages on the board, and he's come really close to passing the guard twice now, but Gonçalves has managed to stave off those attempts, has managed to recover guard both times, and now we see him working this open guard, lasso on one side, now lasso on both sides. Talison Suarez representing Art of Jiu-Jitsu. He's got it on his gi, it's on the scoreboard. He's got Guy Mendez in his corner. Still lives in Australia, but has elected to do his camps for major tournaments at AOJ in California.
Yeah, at the time that was kind of a surprising development to see Talison do that, but it clearly has rewarded him with some benefits here.
Oh yeah.
Guy Mendez is a master, not just technical of the aspects of jiu-jitsu, but also of the tactics.
Just when it comes to strategy, it's not about what happens on the mat. I mean, they have the strategy, everything lined up, you know, everything leading into the match. Everything's just dialed in for success. But look at this. Coming out the back door is Talison Suarez. Up onto the top now, back into a passing position. That's going to be 2. Yeah, if you want to look at the playbook for creating a successful jiu-jitsu athlete, then the AOJ really has done so much to write that. But Talison Suarez, you know, let's take anything away from his former teams or the people who have contributed to his success. He did arrive at AOJ as a black belt, and had been just absolutely killing it on the competition scene ever since a juvenile blue belt coming up through the ranks. We watched him every step of the way, and it's a pleasure to see him here competing at the European tournament, at the European Championships as a black belt. And this is where he first came on our radar as a blue belt, as a juvenile blue belt. He came onto our radar.
You're making me feel my age, Hal.
He's a special talent for sure.
Again, we see something that AOJ has made standard in all their athletes. The starting or the beginnings of this shin trap passing, where we'll try and force this leg across into a modified leg drag, essentially. But it starts a little bit more longer range, you might say, than some leg drags.
There's a lapel at play here. You can see the left side of Taliesin Suarez's body is wrapped around the shin of Gonçalves. Couldn't quite see if he was holding that under his own leg. I don't think he was. It was just stuck. It was definitely very taut. Wow, and Gonçalves does not like that pant grip because Taliesin Suarez has used it now twice to get very close to passing his guard. That time he was kicking it off.
The speed of these transitions is incredible, really. Ellison doing his best to keep up, but Taliesin pouring on the pressure here.
Yeah, he really is. And a little bit like when we were watching Diego Pato in the weight division matches and the light featherweight division matches earlier, mixing up the long-range distance passing that you so associate with the AOJ with this close-range, classic pressure passing that really was a trademark of Murillo Santana and all of the Unity athletes that came through his gym. Of course, Taliesin Suarez spent a long time training with Unity and that crew. And I love to see that combination of styles. It's a very interesting synthesis, and they complement each other so well.
Yeah, and they are also a great method of shutting down the berimbolo inversion game, or the pressure passing sequences, which is a staple of many of the lighter weight athletes.
Taliesin Suarez has now what looks to be basically double underhooks. And he's knee cutting through, and there it is. That powerful lock in the back of the collar from the underhook prevents any kind of turn away from Wellington Gonçalves. And yeah, Taliesin Suarez suddenly has 7 points on the scoreboard, and he's in a great position here. Beautiful use of the upper body control to step over the guard once again. Drops into the side control, but unusual side control because he's basically, I think he had double underhooks. No, he's gone underhook crossface again. There you go. Passing the lapel around through the armpit, giving some extra juice to that crossface. Oh, and he's pulling out his own collar here. Now, this is the very beginning of a very sneaky choke attack. He's going to pass it inside and underneath the forearm and around the neck to his right hand, which right now is controlling the lapel, the jacket of Gonçalves, but he'll switch the grips. He'll pass the very tail of his own lapel through to his right hand.
There it is. It's fed it
across.
across.
Coming through, using his teeth to even grip it. And Gonçalves knows it's coming, but it's very, very difficult to stop it.
And he might be switching to a head and arm choke here. Gonçalves looks to address the lapel.
I mean, he has both.
He's coming around top. Yeah, he's got
has
options.
Both. Yeah, he has his pick here.
The dilemma is in action.
Guy Mendes keeping a close eye on things here. Somebody actually from AOJ who does this choke very, very well is Jonathan Alves. He's used this choke a lot. And there it is. He's passed the lapel through to his right hand. He's going to circle around in a clockwork motion all the way to the other side. And it should just be a matter of time. There it is. Gets the finish. Beautiful, clinical choke using the tail end of the gi. Taliesin Suarez gets it done here at the European Championships with a submission in the final and claims the gold medal. There's a look at the the final seconds of that choke, and look at the relief on Gonçalves' face as it's let go. That was tight.
Yeah, those are very painful.
Big win. 12-0 in a submission.
There you have it. Our referee makes it official. Taliesin Soares is once again a European champion, rather. Coming up next, we're going to have a rematch from the 2021 World Championships. And Malachi Edmond from TLI taking on Diego Pato Batista.
Yeah, crazy to think that it wasn't that long ago these two met in the final of the World Championships, December 2021. Diego Pato was able to win that one by submission. But I think Malachi Edmonds would relish the opportunity to get that one back. All right, here we go. Malachi looks pretty amped up. Wow. This is a very unorthodox position. I do not know what you would call that. Some of these positions really defy description. I'm just watching it thinking, that doesn't have a name. Edmonds, long-range passing.
Oh, look at that drag right there.
Very well-timed drag. Nearly lands directly in the side control. Pato's able to bring his left leg up over the top. Brings it through now into this kind of leg fighting position. Almost like coming out in the back with using this X. Wow, look at that.
The strength of Pato just to pull himself up by the pants of Edmond there.
Yeah, Pato is hanging in midair, and look at that, from like a reverse X-guard position on one leg, switches to a crab ride without even touching the mat.
Rolls through, maintaining the position almost. And
Malachi on a toe hold. Oh, that is so smart of Pato. He goes back into the fighting area to avoid rolling out and conceding 2 points. That is incredible awareness from Diego Pato.
Yes, yes. The whole sequence is pretty mind-blowing, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if that was worth the 2 points there for Malachi. That's interesting as to where that came from. Guess maybe they felt that transition into the kind of the position where he was attacking with his whole hold was technically kind of a guard, and then when he came up on top, that was 2. Pato really creative in his controls of the legs. Yeah, he's been working so many varied leg attacks, both gi and no gi. He's one of those guys that he's one of the best guys who can do both, right? That he's a great technician in the gi, but he has a very different but equally technical game no gi. And you see here he's using lapel, he's using de la Riva, he's using kind of a waiter sweep style, he's using X, reverse X, and then And you see him throwing up false sweeps and heel hooks in no-gi. It's incredible, it really is.
Yeah, he's so well versed in all aspects of the game. Another guy who utilizes the Z-lock quite a bit, no-gi, to devastating effect. And here this lapel wrap is really shutting down the long step there that Malachi is trying to get going. I'm appreciating intensity though from Malachi. He's up by 2, but still aggressively chasing the pass. I think with Parte, you do not want to be on the back foot in any sense.
Right, and it's not exactly like a comfortable lead, is it? Even though he has 2 points and 1 advantage, it's not like he's so far ahead that he can cruise or coast. Because we saw how close Pato came to taking his back earlier, and again, this is really unusual. It's almost like a lapel-assisted waiter.
It will turn out to be pretty close to that same sequence, though, if he's able to spin underneath. We may see something very similar. Pato's able to make himself so compact as he goes underneath the hips. But great reaction from Malachi to remove himself from that scenario a little bit.
Yeah, he had an underhook on the upper body. I think that kind of saved him. Guy Mendez in the corner of Diego Pato. Pato is officially signed up as DreamArt, but as we mentioned earlier, he has been training with the AOJ crew in Southern California, Costa Mesa.
Quick look at a cross grip passer from Malachi. They look to run around the north-south position, but Pato made the adjustment here.
Malachi's got to be careful here. Pato could come out on the back again. Yes, he does. Very close to wrestling up there for a second. I thought we may see him jump up onto the back. Malachi has like an ankle lock grip. Not really an active submission, more of just a control hold of the lower leg. You know, see Malachi holding that leg like that, looks like knee bar territory to me. But he's not rushing it because he knows that if he goes to the knee bar, he's going to end up dropping to the mat. And if he does that, there's a good chance that Pato could come on top or out the back.
He's thinking about it.
He is going for it right here. He took his time. Goes to the toe hold now. Oh, folding Pato's foot there.
And this is burning time off the clock.
Yeah.
Malachi will hang out here in submission territory as long as he can. Another toe hold attempt.
Disengages.
They're right out of bounds here. Let's see how they...
No. Got 3 minutes left. Pato still got to come back by 2 points if he wants to take this. Malachi He's done an excellent job so far.
Oh, that might score.
Oh, it does. Wow, Malachi gets 2.
That was huge.
Yeah, yeah. With the advantage in his favor as well, that suddenly makes things a lot more difficult for Pato.
Amazing timing from Malachi. He'd been looking for that foot sweep in all of his matches previous and switched it up there for a quick little ankle pick. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, Pato's strategy changes significantly now. No, a sweep is not enough. Even taking the back is not enough. He needs to sweep and pass or sweep and take the back.
He's got the lapel. He's got Malachi in all kinds of weird trouble here.
He really does. Using that lapel for the back take, yeah. The upper body is twisted, so Malachi was able to defend it for a bit. But look at the way that Pato's hips were all the way outside of Malachi's right leg. Such a powerful angle. But with time just burning off the clock like this, I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Pato to get this one back.
Yeah, Malachi's done an amazing job. And Pato, though, is relentless and so dangerous that he's still absolutely in this thing with a minute and a half left.
Once again, the creative lead work. It lands Pato on top, but out of bounds.
And in 50-50.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do a neutral restart, because that was kind of a very fluid position as they exited the mat. Yeah, neutral reset. 1 minute, 10 seconds. 4 points to 0.
Oh, knee bar attack here.
Okay, Malachi concedes 2. Pato scores.
Malachi looking to sweep back.
Oh, wow, look at this. Malachi pretty high up and almost out on the back here. It's a footlock grip from Pato. There's no breaking pressure on the ankle, but he does have like a footlock overwrap along the lower shin. But with 10 seconds left, this is Malachi's match right here. He's even got a hand on the collar, a little bit of pressure on the face. No real threat of the choke there, but that's it. It's done. Malachi Edmond takes the gold medal here in Paris. Very smart match. Very, very intelligent use of pretty much everything in his arsenal there. And Malachi Edmond is your 2023 IBJJF European Championship, his first major gold medal as a black belt.
Yeah, what an evolution from the World Championships where he took silver. Really crafty, aggressive.
Yeah, very solid performance right there. Coming up next, we have the male featherweight final chase.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Fabricio Andre versus Alexandro Sodre. Fabricio has been on fire throughout the tournament. You want to talk about aggressive, physical athletes. He certainly fits that description.
Yeah, maybe we can even pull up the brackets and see how these athletes got here while we're waiting for things to get started.
There you can see #1 seed, Fabricio Andre. Bested Israel Souza, then Lucas Rodriguez. Meanwhile, Sodre. Similar route there, and an interesting match in his semifinal there, won by DQ.
That's right, yeah, there was a footlock situation from Cho, the Korean grappler, and unfortunately he got disqualified during the straight footlock attempt. So we have the #1 versus #2 seed in the final.
So Dre has a very dangerous lasso game, utilizes that quite well. Also has his fair share of footlock finishes. And Andre, Fabricio Andre that is just a berserker. Jumps for submissions from just about anywhere.
You never know what to expect of Fabricio
flying
Andre.
triangles, arm bars, etc.
Oh yeah, this featherweight match is looking to be a cracker. Speaking of firecrackers, look at that. Fabricio Andre with his signature power up at the start gets everybody in the venue into the mood.
Risky guard pull from Andre there, but no penalty awarded. Action continues.
Good pressure from Sodre in coming forwards. Fabricio Andre has his left foot, well, it was on the hip. Sodre has just removed it. There it is again, it's back on the hip. It's like a sit-up guard style. He's got the sleeve control with his right hand. I'm wondering if we'll see Fabricio Andre try to pass the sleeve through. It does seem to be the battle that's taking place right now. Fabricio Andre is trying to pass the left sleeve of Alexandro Sodre from his right hand to his left between the legs. But Sodre is well aware of what that means. That would mean that he would get swept. Fabricio Andre could come up on a single leg and just dump Sodre down, so. There it is, but he's coming up, underhooking. There it is. Dumps him down. Drops him to the mat and scores 2.
Fabricio now driving forward, putting in a lot of pressure. And this is definitely the guard play that we expect from Alessandro Sodre here. A lot of lasso guard. But he will have to be aggressive as he's down by the 2 points.
Yeah, in situations like this, it's not enough to just hold on. You have to be aggressive. You have to do something. And I think you let Fabricio Andre start dictating the pace of the match, and you're in for a rough night. Fabricio disengages. I wouldn't be surprised to see a flying triangle attack from here.
Oh, loop choke.
That's good.
Here.
That's good. Well, referees didn't think it was worth an advantage, but I felt that that was...
Fabricio definitely reacted.
Yes, he did. That's not a position you want to hang out in, even though it was a brief attempt. I do think that there was clear danger. Oh, yeah, they did give the advantage to Sodre. The side referees with the video-assisted replay decided that it was worth it, and I agree. Double sleeve control. Spider lasso here for Alessandro Sodre. I like the use of that stomp to get rid of the spider. And you see there Fabricio Andre now putting a lot of pressure, sideways pressure, rotational pressure on the lasso.
Corner of Fabricio Andre, we see Melky Galvao. father of Mika Galvao and mastermind of the new team there.
Yeah, in the corner of Alexandro Sodre is Rafael Feijão, the Novo União coach, and one of the most animated and outgoing coaches in the game. But there's Melky Galvão in the corner, as you mentioned. Incredible work that he's done with that competition team from Manaus in taking athletes from 12, 13-year-olds, bringing them, literally raising them as if they were his own children, training them as athletes as well, and taking them to the highest levels in the jiu-jitsu world. It's incredible, really, the amount of dedication and perseverance and personal sacrifice that he's made in doing so. And these young athletes really have distinguished themselves as some of the very best and brightest stars in jiu-jitsu today, and I'm sure they will be for many years. Yeah, in the other corner is Rafael Feijão. And as I said, there he is, the coach to Alexandro Sodre and Diego Sodre, the two brothers. And Rafael is usually one of the more animated, outgoing, loud, vocal coaches. He's pretty restrained today.
He is. I noticed that myself. He also runs a very interesting class. You know, I had the pleasure of standing in for one of those, filming on a Road to Worlds tour at Gustavo Dantes' gym there when he visited. And a very unique approach to how he drills techniques, situational sparring, things like that. Definitely worth looking at if you have a chance to do that. Or watch the vlog.
Let's go back to the action, shall we? This guard right here, you see that Fabricio Andre, his ability, his hip flexibility and his ability to squat down so low is really impressive. Really, really impressive. He's lifted his hips up now because he wants to create some forward pressure, and there you go, try and dive through for that.
Risky move, and Sodre may capitalize on that.
Very risky, because Sodre, if he can force a mat return, he'll have a clear lead.
Yeah, with two advantages now. But Fabricio is quite competent in the scrambles. Definitely a little bit compromised posture here.
Yeah. That is not an optimal position to be.
Oh, but Fabricio Andre shoots in now.
Flips it. Is now the one dictating the wrestling. Yeah, and all that work that Sodre did was only worth an advantage. Fabricio Andre gets one of his own. Good composure from Fabricio Andre in not freaking out when Alexandro Sodre was threatening that mat return when he came up.
And that just shows the level of these guys. Fabricio Andre makes a risky move, and boom, Sodre really almost capitalizes on that.
Yeah. .40 seconds remaining, or thereabouts. And now the fans, the teammates, the supporters, they're getting much louder. You can hear them. They are both urging their teammates on.
And you can see a sense of urgency all over Alessandro Sodre here. He knows he's got 25 seconds left.
One takedown, one sweep would be enough. He's got the one advantage lead, but 20 seconds remain, and he's coming up on a single. Tries to go for the kick out again. Fabricio Andre, look at that, what a showman. He's like, no, not on my watch.
The crowd is on their feet here.
One last guard pull from Alexandro Sodre. And that's it. Fabricio Andre claims the gold medal here. Featherweight champion of the 2023 IBJJF European Championships.
And all the credit in the world to Sodre as well. He really brought it there in the last couple minutes. Great job wrestling up.
It makes up so much of a small part of jiu-jitsu in the gi. And that investment that Fabrizio Andre had made paid off. And there's your featherweight champ. Great match. Great finish to the match.
That was awesome. A lot of fun in that one. Next up, we'll see our lightweight final here with Natan Chuang versus Andy Murasaki. Really been a breakout performance for Natan Chuang, a guy who's had a lot of success in Brazil. Now a chance to take home a gold medal at the IBJJF Major. You can see our bracket here.
Yeah, #1 seed Andy Murasaki. He beat Leon Larman, the Frenchman, and then Elijah Dorsey, and tapped both of those in just really impressive fashion. Exact same finishing sequence in both matches. It was pass to mount, arm triangle, just like a tank, just bulldozing his opponents. And then Natan Chuang had some tough wins. Marcelo Fausto checkmat, returning silver medalist, beat him, the #3 seed. Then beat the #2 seed, Luis Felipe, put himself into the final. Natan Chuang, really, this is a huge opportunity for him. In the white is Murasaki, in the blue is Chuang.
And a quick guard pull from Natan there. Nice De La Hiva. But Murasaki's passing has been so precise. We've talked about this, where doesn't waste a lot of energy, makes the right adjustments, and then just bulldozes people. I would say Natan is the scrappier of the two fighters. Not that Andy Murasaki isn't explosive, he's extremely powerful, but
Oh, he can scrap.
Natan seems to be a little more wild, let's say, aggressive.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of putting it. You know, the Andy Murasaki now, he's had a couple of seasons as a black belt. You know, he's hit the finals of major tournaments, including the Worlds, including the Pans. And the thing about Andy Murasaki is that he's always been a very mature competitor. Even from a young age, he's looked like a competitor much older than he is, with just tons of experience. He doesn't really, it's not that he doesn't risk anything. It's not that he can't. He certainly can. He can go out there and scrap with anybody. But he's just so composed and has such a measured approach to his matches, to his opponents. I think that comes with confidence. I think that comes with experience. And just his style as well. He just really demolishes his opponents when he gets a hold of them, and it starts enacting that pressure passing. And I think that Chuang is doing a smart move in keeping the upper bodies as far apart as possible, because the moment that the Andy Murasaki is able to make upper body contact, that could be the downfall of Chuang. You know, Murasaki gets that upper body control, and he's so powerful. He's so short and stocky, and if he can get that top pin, I mean, we saw it in his last two matches. He was able to pass, mount, arm triangle, choke in the exact same sequence, and his opponents really couldn't stop it. The only thing you can do is try and keep him as far away as possible and get your game going. And we see the double pant grips from Natan Chuang. He's got the, like a kind of a, not quite the single leg X. But it's almost as the foot is at the hip, and instead of his foot on the hip, he's got it hooked underneath the thigh. Switches between the two. There's a little long step type move from Andy Murasaki, and just taking some pressure off.
Oh, now he's in open territory. This is where Andy thrives here, mixing up the distance passing with the close range stuff. Natan able to recompose though. Looks like double lasso, kind of tough to tell.
Yeah, I think you're right. You really see Andy Murasaki go backwards. You know, there's a nice little throw by of the inside leg. Nathan Schwenk brings the top leg, the left leg over the top and tries to make a frame, kicks away. But the control of the bottom leg from Andy Murasaki, he still got it. Moving around to the side. Oh, wow, look at that. Andy Murasaki gets to restart with his foot. Like the stomp passing, that's very Ruotolo-esque kind of guard passing. The leg pin using the foot. Immediately gives it up and walks around, but stapling your opponent's limbs to the mat like that, it's such an effective way of passing the guard.
Natan was briefly considering trying to wrestle up there, but Murasaki put a stop to that with the knee in the chest.
I think we may see Natan try to wrestle up. If he can, yeah, he couldn't get it. He's trying to pass the, first of all, he was trying to pass the sleeve through between the legs to his left hand, just like we saw Alexandro Sodri do in the last match. Or Fabrizio Andre, I should say, was trying to do it in the last match. But he couldn't manage it, so he's elected to go for the lapel. But the problem is he's gone the same side lapel, and it's not a real strong lever. You really need the crossbody lapel through the legs and around the back of the thigh to really control the posture when you come up from a single leg. It's not the best grip you can get from there. And yeah, Natan's gone back to playing lasso. Still 0-0. We're almost halfway through the match.
Yeah, Andy breaks the lasso grip here, drives back in. Started to try and pin the left leg of Natan against his own chest.
For me, it's good to see Andy Murasaki back down at lightweights. You know, he's competed at both lightweight and middleweight the last couple of years. This is the first time that he's back down at lightweight since hitting the Pan finals against Jonta Alves a couple of years ago. And I think he looks good at this weight class. You know, his power and his strength just match up against, you know, other people of this weight. And he seems to be miles ahead in terms of power. But nice off-balancing from Natan Schwenk, briefly knocking Murasaki's hips to the mat. But knocking him down and keeping him down are two different things.
Yeah, quick to return on fire is Andy Murasaki. But Natan Schwenk holding his own out there so far.
It really is. I would be nervous about allowing his near side leg to be extended like that to bring that knee away from his body. He needs to stay disciplined and needs to maintain that active core, knees close to the chest. This is better. He's brought his knees back in now. Andy, of course, wants to separate that knee as far away from the body as possible. He used that passing sequence a couple of times already today in different matches about bringing the near side knee far away from the upper body and replacing it or placing a knee into the hip to block the recovery. And it worked really, really well. And I think Schwenk knows that. But it's tough to maintain that discipline and the focus for a full 10 minutes without making one mistake that allows Murasaki to get there.
And Andy's more than a little bit effective at forcing those airs too, with the constant pressure, the in and out.
Yeah.
He really has one of the best gas tanks in the division.
The thing is with Andy as well, it's not even so much in and out. he doesn't back off too much.
No, that's true.
It's true, right? I mean, because we were talking about some of the other guys we saw earlier about how they push forward and then they back off to create an opening and allow a reaction and then go around. Andy just goes through. It just runs through a brick wall. Yeah, once again, Andy Murasaki stapled that near side leg to the mat, trying to extend it as far around as possible. And I just feel like he's getting closer and closer to the upper body. You see, he's literally this spinning in circles. He's walking around so much, and Nathan Schweng is using the lasso hook on the top or just bringing the leg across the free leg to recover. But Andy is so persistent. I feel like he's going to force a mistake soon and force an error. He's got 2.5 minutes to work. I mean, we've seen it happen today in a number of matches that decisive finishing sequences came in the last 30 or 45 seconds. So it just goes to show that, you know, there's no reason to step you off the gas pedal, because what you've been looking for the whole match could be right there. And if you give up too early because you think, I've tried for 9 minutes, I'm just going to cruise the rest of the match and I'm not going to win, you might as well not even be there. There it is again. The one thing that Schweng has done, actually, though, is that every time that Andy Murasaki controls that near side leg and extends it away from the body, he's denying Andy an upper body grip with the left hand.
Oh, a little drag there from Schweng. Yeah, well spotted how he has maintained a very effective defensive posture, let's call it, and opened up with a little bit of offense here and there, but for the most part in the last 5 minutes, it has been Murasaki sort of dictating the pace. I think despite the score being tied, Schweng needs to think about how to really start enacting a little bit of offense to try and maybe change the judge's mind here.
He's only had one momentary off-balancing, and Murasaki just popped straight back up off that. It wasn't even worth an advantage, and I'm not sure that that was significant enough to say that he's ahead. Murasaki has definitely been the one pressing the action, pushing forward, driving. And the judges, they're going to remember that. For 9 minutes, 10 minutes of the match, Murasaki's been constantly driving forward, pushing forward.
Oh, here we go. This looks pretty close.
Wow.
Rise up.
Yeah, he almost sent Murasaki over the top there. This is what I said about how you can't stop fighting. This is in the last 40 seconds and no advantage scored, but still.
And now chasing a
after it.
50-50 here, might try and come up. Andy, of course, very well versed in this game as well as any high-level athlete is. But Schweng pouring on the tempo here. And I think that decision just became a little closer.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, but that's not good. Schweng just committed a huge error in attempting to throw his legs up and over the 50-50. He opened his legs just a fraction too wide, gave Murasaki an exit. Murasaki was so close. You can see it here. He came up, bridges up. Murasaki back heels his leg all the way out, almost onto the back. 2 advantages to Andy Murasaki now. What was a very even match literally was lost in the last 5 seconds.
Yeah, you know, I can't blame the time. He sold out. He wanted to go for broke and try and chase some kind of points there with the 50-50 sweep, and just made a mistake. And you can't do that with Andy Murasaki.
Yeah, big win for Andy Murasaki. Very impressive. Wins a gold medal in a major. Andre Galvao, Andy Murasaki's coach. Sure, very happy with that. But hey, we got a big one coming up next. You can see on screen right there, AOJ's Tynan Dalpera in the middleweight final against Pavel Kalesnik. Great to see a Polish athlete in the final. It's actually the second of 3 Polish athletes to make it into the final here at the European Championships this weekend.
Yeah, it's amazing to see.
Maria Mariasak won gold in the women's divisions. Adam Wodzinski will return for the heavyweight division a little later. And yeah, Pavel right here going up against the number 1 in the world, Tynan Dalpera. And arguably, Tynan Dalpera, one of the pound-for-pound top grapplers in the world in the gi.
Yes, Tynan, like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, pretty much flawless throughout his career. Had a perfect record last year with over 90% submission rate. And we've seen more of the same so far throughout his Europeans campaign here this year. Quick sweep from Tynan Dalpera there.
Effortless, just so good. You know, we
Long step.
Oh, this is just textbook. I mean, this is literally like watching his instructional videos come to life. This is everything you would expect from Tynan Dalpera. One of the things that's always impressed me about Tynan is not just his technical ability, but his ability to, as you like to say, you know, control the tempo of the match, to take the pace of the match, and set the terms about what they're going to compete. It's like somebody comes at him hard, he's like, no, we're going to go slow.
Oh.
Wow.
The gator roll pass to the back that's a little creative. I love
He's
that.
out here making the highlight video, Chase.
Oh my goodness, that was just insane.
And, you know, Tynan, you want to go slow against him, he'll turn up the gas. You want to come at him, he'll slow you down. He will dictate exactly how the match goes. And we are 90 seconds and it'll change into this match. And he's on the neck. Looks like we're pretty close to a collar choke. It might be a little bit high. I can see. Yeah, the hand comes up. Tap. The Polish grappler will have to be content with the silver medal because Tynan Dalpera was going home with nothing less than gold.
There's a quick look there at the finish. I would love to see, if we could, that pass with the gator roll to the back take.
Yeah, incredible.
That was, I know I'll be watching that more than once tonight.
Oh, got to get that one on the gram. Phenomenal, really just a textbook example of flawless jiu-jitsu. That guy's best in the world right there. All right, we got a medium heavyweight final coming up right now, and this is a great one. I'm actually excited about this one, Chase. We got 2 relatively fresh faces in the final here. The number 3 and the number 8 seed. Can you believe that? Jansen Gomez took out Mateus Spirandelli, the number 1 seed. Then Wellington Alemão, the number 5 seed, to punch his ticket into the final. Pedro Machado, who was the number 3 seed, came through with wins over Belancandam, the number 9 seed, and Marcus Petro, the number 2 seed. So we got 2 fresh faces, 2. I believe they've never faced off in the black belt ranks. I don't think that they've definitely never faced off at the European Championships before. So this is a good one. Pedro Machado in the white on the left, and Jansen Gomez is in the blue on the right of the screen.
Okay, and our athletes have made their way to the mats. As you said, this should be a guaranteed barn burner. Jansen Gomez has looked phenomenal all weekend. Really creative top game passing approaches. So athletic and nimble. Pedro Machado, equally adept in all areas of the game. Strong wrestling and wrestle-ups from Pedro Machado, a big part of his game. See Jansen loosen the lapel there of Machado, maybe indicating a pull is coming here.
Oh, he's got a mean collar drag. We saw that earlier today. Jansen Gomez, kind of unorthodox in his style sometimes. Hard to really put a pin on it as to exactly what he does. Is he a top player? Kind of, yeah. Is he a guard player? Kind of, yeah. He does a little bit of everything, but he doesn't do one thing that you associate with him over and over, other than go out there and fight really hard.
Yeah, he's really well-rounded and a volume fighter. You know, hits you with a lot of different looks. Does not let you rest. See Jansen indicating, again, with that foot sweep and once again also loosening the lapel. So he clearly has a strategy in mind here for Pedro Machado. Quick fake guard pull to ankle pick attempt from Jansen. Now in on a single leg. Nearly has it right on the edge of the mat.
Wow.
Strength of Jansen Gomez there.
Yeah, he does have some really good wrestling style techniques, that's for sure. He mean collar drag, good at picking up the single leg. What we saw as well in a couple of his earlier matches is that he doesn't really have like a specific guard that he likes to play, but he was able to use some really subtle sweeps and just tilt sweeping his opponents off balance like so easily and just perfect timing. It was really deceptive actually, because I was watching and I was kind of thinking, okay, I was like, what's he going to do here? And before you know it, he's just on top. Just on top. It wasn't even like he set up a spider guard or De La Hiva or a butterfly hook. No, he just tilts them and just like, boop, I'm on top now. It's crazy. Pedro Machado's game is a little bit different. I mean, he's just got just a fantastic Parte game. Him and his close friend and training partner, Eduardo Hockey, who competed in the lightweight division today. They've just got a really, really good Parte games, and you've seen Pedro Machado do that against so many of his opponents. You know it's coming, and he still gets it. The real clash of styles, and I think that right now they're really trying to figure each other out because, like I said, they've not faced each other before, I believe, in the black belt ranks, and there's a little hesitancy as to who wants to pull the trigger first, huh?
Well, I think Jansen's been pretty aggressive, to be honest. Pedro Machado, though, stifling him a bit. He has been awarded a penalty point for the conservative play. But I think Jansen just kind of warming up. He doing some level changes. We saw a look at an ankle pick, a drag, like you mentioned, kind of a snap down with the collar. And Machado's yet to really commit to a throw or any attempt at a guard pull. He's sort of feeling out, I think, what Jansen really wants to do, because Jansen's throwing a lot of feints.
Yes.
And we don't really know quite where Jansen wants to be in this match.
Yeah, we're not sure where it's going, right? Does he want to play on top? Does he want to play on bottom?
Oh, in on a double leg.
That's good work from Jansen Gomez, but he hasn't put him down yet. He draws him back into the center of the mat. Sumigashi attempt there from Pedro Machado.
That's very close to scoring. We see 2
there's
points
the
on the board and right into a great passing position here.
Yeah, that's a great smash pass territory.
Really nice work from Jansen Gomez here. Back steps, nearly secures the pass with Pedro Machado. looking to make a little distance here. Maybe Jansen will come back around to the side.
Yeah, he does have great side-to-side passing, actually. He has good footwork, and you'll see him kind of go one way and force a reaction and then switch to the other. I think it makes sense as well that he keeps this forward pressure going on as well. I mean, usually forward pressure invites the omoplata, and if Pedro Machado can kick his leg free, then there is a chance that he can kind of shoot it up and try to catch something. But hard to see in the grip here, but I think Jansen might have his right hand on the pant leg of Pedro Machado's right ankle. And if that's the case, it's almost like dragging it across. It's not leg drag territory, but that means there's no way that Pedro Machado is shooting that foot up for an ankle, shooting that leg up for an omoplata. And the other leg really is in a very compromised position because it's not even an effective frame right now. The knee is pinned to the chest. Very, very strong forward pressure. And there it is.
Beautiful pass, or at least a look at one. Pedro looking to scramble
corner.
away.
Yep. Jansen Gomez around the corner, hand in the back of the collar. Yeah, he is. He's going to throw Pedro Machado back down and gives Machado the ability to kind of recover guard from that. If I was Jansen Gomez, yeah, I mean, you want him to kind of put him down, but it may have even been better to let him go up and to actually chase the back. But
this is interesting.
It is. Now we've seen a very quick turnaround. All of a sudden, Pedro Machado is close to getting the back. I think the mat awareness here, if he just drags Jansen Gomez back into the center.
Is he going for a standing loop choke?
What? Standing Ezekiel. This is just bonkers.
Oh, let's see what happens here.
Well, they went out of bounds. I think the referee could call that too for a standing submission going out of bounds. I really hope it's not a DQ, because if you flee the mat to the submission, you can get DQ'd. If it is if it's the only way you could go in an active submission, you go out of bounds, it'll be 2 points for your opponent. The referees are watching the video replay right now. We have a team of assistant. Oh, it's a DQ. Oh, it's a DQ. They gave it to Jansen. Wow, that's rough. That's really rough.
It happened fast, but it looked like he walked out of bounds to me. He was carrying Jansen.
For sure, for sure. I mean, Pedro Machado, his vision's probably skewed by the fact that he had an Ezekiel choke, wrapped around his neck at the same time. But you can't go out of bounds in an active submission. It's an immediate disqualification, and that's exactly what we saw happen there. Wow. Jansen Gomez, rookie black belt, picks up his first gold medal at a major IBJJF tournament. European champ. And look at that, Rico Vieira. He's trained Jansen Gomez since he was a little kid, since he was a child. And from scratch has taken him through.
Here's his final sequence here. I think we might have a replay, actually. Maybe we can get that up on our screen. It will be a few minutes after this.
Looks like we're coming into the heavyweight finals. Let's have a take a look at the brackets. You've got Felipe Andrew versus Adam Wardzinski, number 1 versus number 2 seed. Not a great surprise, but a pretty stacked bracket, Chase. So kind of impressive that both guys emerged through and made it into the final.
Yeah, Adam Wardzinski had a submission by Ezekiel in his semifinal over Hitozuki, which was, I think, a big win for him. Not necessarily an upset like you said, but a statement.
Wodzinski, the third of 3 Polish black belts to make it into the finals here of the 2023 IBJJF Championships. And immediately looking to go for that
aggressive start from Felipe Andrew.
Butterfly guard, yeah. It's interesting to see Felipe Andrew back down at heavyweight. He's been competing for so long at super heavy. I do remember seeing him at heavy, but it's so long ago. He's big for this weight class.
Yeah, and we actually heard from Felipe that he didn't do the absolute because he's focusing, at least right now, on maybe chasing the heavyweight Grand Slam all season long. So who knows, things may change throughout the season, but that would be a very interesting storyline to see play out.
Yes, it would. Nice backstep over the top there from Felipe Andrew in answer to the single leg X of Adam Wodzinski. Adam Wodzinski, he really does have such a distinctive game. I mean, you know, again, what he's going to do. He's going to play butterfly guard, you know. Both sides, has a great butterfly guard, half butterfly guard. One of the few guys in the world who have that as their primary kind of attack position.
Oh, nice work from Adam here. Kind of getting in his position. Has a grip on the belt, behind the back. One thing that Adam game requires is to get into some risky scenarios to get the position that he needs on the inside. Always makes for an exciting match.
I like Adam's use of that belt wrap over the top, you know. Something he does really well. Such a good postural control.
Single leg exit to a toe hold.
Toe hold.
Just be careful with that foot on the hip there. Can't go over too far.
Absolutely, yeah.
Felipe Andrew now in a little better position. Nice job from Adam now to absorb the pressure. Can Felipe, though, force a scramble?
Oh, he's kind of managed to drop down into like a leg weave position here now. This is good for Felipe Andrew. You can see him trying to push the lapel from around the armpit up and around into the cross-faced hands, which, as we've seen today, has been a really effective control position for so many athletes. Now he's really putting the pressure on Adam Wodzinski now. Adam Wodzinski's torso is completely twisted. His shoulders and his back is flat on the mat. His right knee, his far side knee, has been brought over the top and is being dropped to the mat from the side of Felipe, and there it is. Felipe is almost backstepping up over the top, but switches directions and goes directly into the mount. That is just really, really good guard passing right there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Adam Wodzinski not in a great spot here. Felipe Andrew is going to put on some pressure right now. And Felipe Andrew basically has 3 submissions. If you've seen any of his matches, he has excellent jiu-jitsu, but he has basically 3 submissions that he hits, and that's it. Triangle armbar, straight foot lock, and an arm triangle choke. Really, really good with the arm triangle choke, and I think that we'll see him work for that because he goes for the triangle armbar, always comes from guard. The straight foot lock comes usually from guard passing, but sometimes from bottom. But the arm triangle choke only really comes from one position, and that's right here, top position like this. And, you know, saying that about Felipe Andrew, about his game, you know, about he basically has 3 submissions, it's not an insult. You know, it's actually, I think that's kind of smart that he's invested so much into perfecting and making those attacks so effective as possible that they are, I mean, he can pull them out the bag and, you know, he's so confident in getting them.
Well, he makes them work against the best in the world.
Exactly. Exactly.
And here we see Adam Wodzinski really struggling to sort of recover a meaningful position.
Yeah. As I was saying about that arm triangle, I mean, that's exactly what Felipe Andrew is going to do. He's got that elbow separation. It's getting higher. It's away from the torso. that right arm of Adam Wodzinski is so high like that, you'll see Felipe Andrew look to drop. There it is, drops his head to the mat. He's going to go ear to the tricep. He's going to push that up and across and go for the arm triangle, stroke head and arm, stroke katakatami choke.
Yeah, it's getting closer. He's inching forward, but Adam does a nice job dropping his shoulder back down. But Felipe is insisting.
Felipe Andrews working on it. I mean, it's pretty obvious what he's going for. There's no secret. Question is whether Adam Wodzinski can find a way out from here. His left arm is between their torsos. It's down kind of low. He can use that elbow as like a frame on the hips, but it's just hanging out there right now. It's not a particularly effective frame. He's trying to, there you can see a little bit of the footwork from Adam Wodzinski and trying to remove those grapevines. But that right arm is a problem. That right arm extended away from the body like that is dangerous. So there's lots of small battles all going on at the same time here. Wodzinski's doing his best to address the problem with the feet. He's maintaining the distance control with the hips. And all the while, he's defending everything with the arm triangle choke here. And the time's running out. It's 7-0 for Felipe Andrew. He's in complete control, and there's no incentive to drop off or to change tactics. He's in control. And there, now you see Adam Wodzinski able to recover a very shallow half guard and manages to get a frame inside that knee shield and has managed to recover back into the half guard.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive from Wodzinski to recover there.
It's very good defense.
Very rare to see Felipe Andrew go backwards in any way, but he's right back to it here.
Yeah, that long step as well from Felipe Andrew. Look at the positioning, the head and the jaw, the collar grip. It's 3 times he's trying to jump over with that long step. Adam's sticky hooks making all the difference.
Oh, going for a loop choke.
Yeah, the briefest of looks at that. Not really a substantial submission attack, worth no advantage. More of a Hail Mary kind of thing. We've seen it work in the past, but not right now. Okay, 40 seconds remaining in the match. And you know, I'm not going to write off anybody because we've seen some matches, some incredible comebacks this weekend. In the last 30, 40 seconds of matches, we've seen people just completely turn it around and go from staring into the jaws of defeat and coming out and clutching victory. But not here. 10 seconds remaining. Felipe Andrew just drops that knee down and forward.
And that is going to be it. Felipe Andrew is your 2023 European Heavyweight Champion. Dominant win, 7 points, 1 advantage.
Yes, it was. That was a strong showing. I'm sure Adam will be disappointed with that. His defense was excellent, but yeah, very impressive win. And hey, if he does plan to do the Grand Slam this year, Chase, he's off to a good start. Yeah, it's a big win for Felipe Andrew over Adam Wodzinski. Adam will have to be content with silver. Poland taking 2 silvers and a gold medal here. Yeah, this is the well, the super heavyweight bracket, but we actually had the super heavyweight match happen earlier. So we've moved on to the ultra heavyweight division. Let's see if we can pull that bracket up instead. There it is, the ultra heavyweight bracket. Mason Fowler, #1 seed. Something of a controversial win in his semi-final match against Saif Houmini of France, the local, the Parisian. Kjetil Ludvo scored a couple of pretty convincing wins to punch his ticket into the final. He's a rookie black belt, pretty new black belt. And the Norwegian has made it through into the European finals, and I believe this is the only European final this weekend without a Brazilian. So you have Mason Fowler representing the USA. He's on the left in the white, and Kjetil Ludvo in the in the blue.
Mason shoots in. He's been using this strategy kind of all weekend where he shoots for a single and sits the guard if it doesn't quite go his way. That's a lot of pressure on top here. See if Mason can recover into a little safer position.
There's not many people.
Oh, look at that.
That was nice. That was really nice.
2 points to Mason Fowler, but right into deep half here. And Mason, really nice use of his hips right there to kind of switch out of the deep half right into a great passing position. Has the underhook.
Yeah, he's almost through with that knee cut.
Ludvo is awarded a penalty, I'm assuming illegal grip inside the sleeves. And Mason Fowler now.
Almost gets the pass, but Ludvo is able to just about trap the ankle back between his thighs again in a very, very shallow half guard, but that deep underhook of Mason Fowler on the head, the low posture like that, is going to make it really difficult for him to escape from here. Although, that's going to be a 2-point reversal right there. Very simple bridge and roll from bottom. The big man from Norway representing frontline jiu-jitsu.
And he's just barreling into Mason Fowler. I love the aggression.
Mason Fowler had a really tough weekend, actually. You look at some of the guys that he's fought. You know, this ultra heavyweight division is no joke. And I don't know, we've seen Mason down at various weight classes, but whenever he competes in the gi, he nearly always competes at ultra heavyweight, right? And I just always think, man, he's kind of undersized. You see him against these giants that he's going up against. But he likes it.
I don't know. Mason's a pretty massive human being, I got to say.
He's definitely pretty thick, yep. He's a strong
boy.
But
what impresses me the most about him is that he plays like a small guy. Maybe that has something to do with Kyle Terra being his coach.
Oh, I'm sure.
But his approach to the game is extremely technical.
Well, that said, he's got an interesting couple of tricks from bottom. He plays a lot of deep half, but he has an excellent rubber guard game as well, which is kind of unusual. You don't see that too much, #1 in the gi, and #2, you don't see it too much in the heavyweight ranks.
There you go, as you mentioned.
Yeah, going high with the rubber guard.
It's the beginnings of the rubber guard here. Yeah, incredible flexibility.
I always remember the day that he was competing at the ADCC trials. There's a look at the podium, by the way, the lightweight black belt podium of Andy Murasaki getting the gold medal, joined by his silver medalists, Nathan Schweng, and the third place finishers. Oh, wow. Yeah, the Norwegian now is, that was some good pressure right there. He briefly had a look at getting around, and now he's going to run around again. Forcing the roll. Nice little shift of the hips, but Mason Fowler not only manages to recover the top position, but passes immediately into the mount. That is an excellent transition from Mason Fowler. He didn't stop. From the moment the Norwegian initiated the roll, started trying to sweep and come up on top, Mason Fowler just didn't stop. And he, when the Norwegian initiated the pass, Mason Fowler, he rolled through, and then he switched his hips, went directly into the mount. Really impressive stuff. So it's 9 points to 2 now. Mason Fowler suddenly just got a huge lead on the scoreboard. That's another penalty against Ludvo for the grip inside the pants. That's an illegal grip, so he's now facing 2 penalties. Looks like Mason's close to passing again here, but he got bumped and rolled last time. He's got to be careful here. Foot comes out. It's free. Clears the knee line. 3 points. Wow, racking them up. 12 points to 2 now.
Knee on belly, comes back across to the mount.
That's another 4. We're not even halfway through this match, Chase, and it is 16 points to 2 on the official scoreboard. Excuse, there's a lag between the official scoreboard and the one that you see on the screen, but it is 16 points to 2 currently. There we are, rectified. Mason just enjoying a moment in complete control here. Doesn't seem to have any active submissions, just really holding on here because Ludvo's footwork has managed to regain a very, very shallow half guard. But that said, yeah, Mason was able to extract the foot once again. So that's another 3 points for a pass right there. Now he's all of a sudden 19 points to 2. This is the highest scoring final we've seen all day.
Yeah.
One of the highest scoring matches I've seen all weekend, actually. Another 2 for knee ride. 21 points to 2.
Two more points for Mason Fowler.
Incredible, really. Just running away with this one. 23 points to 2.
Okay, we may see a back take here. See Mason really fluid in these transitions here, rolling and rolling, looking to grab a collar, ends up on top.
That was good work by Ludvo in denying that back attack there. Didn't concede any points in that sequence, but oh, look at that. Comes up on a single leg.
Yeah, nice job shelving that leg from Ludvo, but Mason's trying to spin out.
Yeah, frees his leg, forces the turtle, runs around, one hook in. Oh, he's working on a rear naked like a face crank. Second hook goes in.
Now he's adjusting, looking like he's switching to a collar.
Wow, 27 points to 2.
Again, over the jaw, it gets the tap.
What a dominant performance. Almost 8 minutes into the match, and Mason Fowler, 27 points and a submission. That was kind of a nasty one as well. It was pretty high on the face. It wasn't a rear naked, it was a face crush rear naked. Woof, look at that replay. Great angle of that. Nasty.
That was a brutal finish.
How cool is it to see somebody like Mason Fowler, who's so active in both gi and no gi, you know, just a couple of months after competing in the biggest no gi tournament in the world, puts the gi straight back on the circuit, out there competing against some of the toughest guys in the world, comes to Europe, takes on Brazilians.
Both in his weight category and in the absolute.
Tough
Mason
matches,
plays
yeah.
a very open game. He makes things exciting. So he's on the verge of becoming a superstar. So
what I really like about it is that you said fun matches is absolutely correct, but also tough matches, because there are a lot of tough matches out there to be found. You know, you don't need to go far to find them, and a major tournament like the Europeans has that to offer. And he came here and he had to face down some really tough guys. But we're on to the women's absolute final now.
Yes, it's our final 2 matches of the day. Kicking things off, we have our women's absolute match between Gabriela Pisagna.
Look at those stats.
Those stats are just insane. 51-0. And we are underway. Diving in. Oh, we have, I think, an accidental eye poke here.
Oh, no. This is just going to say, a rematch of the last year's absolute final at the European Championships, which took place in Rome, Italy. And Gabriela Pisagna, she won that one.
You can see
a chance for Talita to get this one back, but oh yeah, there it is. That's the unfortunate. Straight back in. And how did that last match go last time around?
Gabby Pisagna came out with the gold. I believe it was by points.
I mean, her perfect record speaks volumes, right? I mean, there are a few people in the world who can even give her a competitive match, let alone beat her. It's really incredible, actually. You know, I think it's the Gabi Pisagna era in jiu-jitsu. She has the size, she has the technique. It's a formidable combination. This is why she just racks up double golds and, you know, all the tournaments that she enters.
Oh, big stack here from Pisagna.
Oh yeah, she's almost forced the roll to turtle, but Talita was able to get back up to her feet.
Oh, little hip bump sweep here. All kinds of threats from Gabi Pisagna on display.
She's one of the few black belts active on the world scene nowadays that has a really, really dangerous closed guard. You know, you don't see too many people use it. It's a kind of old-fashioned, right? But she's great at it. She really has a very effective closed guard.
Oh, looking for an arm here. Comes up on a sweep instead.
That was a really nice technique there. Again, a technique that we haven't seen for a long time. You just don't see people play the close guard game, and it's a very effective old school sweeping technique from the close guard. And look at that, she has no hooks in, but she has the collar choke active. Can't quite see if it's under the chin, but she does have double collar grips for the sliding collar choke from the back. Oh, but it's loose. Talita Silva is out. They're going to restart back in the center. How fast is Gabby Pessanha? She's able, there's the replay, she's able to come up from that. Oh, just an amazing technique. I love to see it. And immediately forces from the sweep the back attack. Okay, restart in the close guard. 3 advantages only to Gabby Pessanha. I thought actually, you know, considering what she's done in the match so far, 3 advantages is not much, is it? But
yeah, that is somewhat surprising. But I mean, nothing's actually scored. Just like you said, pretty dominant and a lot of activity.
Right.
Isolating the arm now here with this overhook. It's Gabby Pessanha. An overhook and a body triangle. See Talita Lima, though, not lacking in the strength department, picks up Gabby Pessanha.
Having caught that leg from the close guard, she's got a pant grip with her left hand. There it is. You can see that base on the right side of Talita Silva is extremely compromised. You may see Gabby Pessanha hip bump up over, complete the sweep, or you may see her throw her legs up for a triangle, open the guard and go higher in the arm and the neck.
And she's nearly up. You see her driving forward.
Even trying to use that left foot to kick out the supporting hand of Talita Silva.
She may be trying to sneak around to the back here.
She is. She's looking for it, and there it is. It's the body triangle, though, so it won't score. She's going to need to go double hooks in. But she's going high. She's looking for the finish. She's not even worried about getting the hooks. Doesn't quite have optimal positioning. She's kind of off to the side. She could go for the armbar from here. Yeah, back into the close guard for Talita Silva.
Another advantage for Gabby Pessanha here, 4 advantages. Talita Silva really, or Talita Lima rather, really doing a good job of defense, right? In some very dangerous spots, but being able to get back to somewhat of a neutral position.
Yes. I think that one thing that Talita Silva has going for her is that one of her main training partners at the Dream Arts Academy in Sao Paulo is Yara Suarez, who has gone head-to-head with Gabby Pessanha so many times. And if we look now, we bring this image in, we have an inset view of Gabby Pessanha's coach, Marcio Gideus, who has taken her from white belt to black belt world champion. As Gabby Pessanha throws up a triangle, this is it, the match is almost over here. Talita Silva, though, manages to get her hand out. Oh, I mean, Gabby Pessanha is just in complete control. She's got Talita on the back foot in every way. There is Izaki Bayens, team captain of the Dream Art squad, and coaching Talita in this absolute final. Talita already took gold in her weight
You may
division.
see a no-arm triangle attempt here. Very quick look at one.
Both of these ladies took gold in their weight divisions earlier today, but only one can take this absolute gold medal. 4 advantage lead for Gabby Pessanha. I think you know which way it's going. Some lapel action from Talita Silva here. It's around the leg, it seems. Lots of spectators here in the Institut du Judo here in Paris, France. Oh, this is bad news for Talita Silva. Gabi Pessanha has passed the leg across. Smash pass position. Hooks the foot in the back. Oh, almost hooks the foot in the back of the thigh. That's a good recovery there. Not out of danger just yet, though. Gabi Pessanha clears the legs. She's chest to back. The left hook has gone in. She's looking for the second one. Oh, I'm so impressed by Talita Silva's resilience here, but she risks going into a fully locked on triangle here. That was smart. Gabi Pessanha set the trap. She set the trap from the back. She set up this triangle attack here. Hard to see if she's got the right angle to finish this. It could be a slow burn. Oh, she's going for the arm as well here.
That looks like it could be fully extended here in short order.
She's going high TP choke style. Talita Silva is so tough to withstand this, but there is the tap. Gabi Pessanha with the submission in the absolute final. Double gold champion in Paris at the 2023 European Championships. TP choke finish. When was the last time you saw one of those?
Yeah, awesome. Gabi Pessanha through the kitchen sink at Talita Lima here. I mean, really hit her with a lot of different techniques. And really beautiful work from Gabi Pessanha.
There it is, makes it official. Gabi Pessanha, the champion here in Paris. Another double gold for her collection.
And there you can see the bracket here as we approach our final match of the day. This is the absolute final featuring Kainan Duarte, Hideo Zuchi.
Oh, Duarte just looks so confident. So Kainan already champion in the super heavyweight division. Hidezuki, this is his chance at redemption. He went out in the weight class, but now has the chance to win the gold medal here in the absolute division. And this is something interesting to see that Kainan was going no-gi grips on the top of the head, wrestling style. He was going for there it is, see a collar tie. Rather than going for gi grips, he's going double collar tie on the back of the head. And one thing that I've heard is that Kainen is just freakishly strong. Freakishly strong.
I mean, when you look at him, you'd be surprised to hear that. I'm kidding. He's like this, just insane shape, right? And really works hard at what he does. This is the Atos style, though, behind the kind of tie clinch behind the head. They like you pointed out, you see that a lot in their no-gi matches. They kind of bait maybe someone to take a shot and go for the guillotine or sprawl, etc. Yeah, but not so common in gi matches here.
Kainen pulls. Interesting use of the lapel. Don't really see Kainen play a lot of lapel guard. It's unusual. Draws Zuki into this knee shield. Zuki maintaining really, really good grips of the upper body, and trying to stay as close as possible, but Kainen just lifts him and puts him into a close guard. And we were saying earlier about Kainen's strength, and I keep thinking about the absolute semi-final yesterday, where Mason Fowler threw up an omoplata on Kainen, and Kainen just stood up effortlessly and just threw Mason off. And Mason's a big guy, and he just lifted him high into the air like he was nothing.
Yeah. He has the combination of just flawless technique and supreme strength. So it's a tough ask to come out on top against something like that. But Hirozuki doing a nice job so far of remaining composed. And being in Kainen's closed guard is definitely dangerous. But Kainen himself decides to open up. Slides in the De La Hiva hook for a moment there. Looking to wrestle up maybe.
Yeah, he is. He's got that single. Put in the lapel through the legs, it seems. He's gone high. He's got the lapel through the legs into his left hand for that trap single leg. And he's got his right hand high on the collar, near the neck or the collarbone. So he could steer the wheel. He could go in either direction here. And he elects to go to the right. Runs Zuki down to the mat. Gets two and gets past the guard. Leg drag style position. If he can keep his back on the mat, he'll get pass points. If not, there, slowly slides in both hooks. And
oh, the choke is on.
That's done. This is exactly how he choked out Mason Fowler. Savage choke from the back. No.
Heater survives that, but he's in a lot of trouble. And what a series of transitions from Kainen Duarte. So smooth.
But that's like the 5th time we've said that this weekend, right? So smooth.
He just keeps doing it.
Yeah. He makes it look easy. That's the amazing thing about Kainen. And these are not easy guys that he's fighting. These are the toughest guys in the world. And yet Kainen just time and time again just goes out there and just looks so solid and in so much control.
The switch he did to move from sort of smash pass to leg drag, I mean, it was one adjustment, and it gave him the entire route to the back.
He's really good at that, actually. You see Kainen in many of his matches that he sweeps directly into passing positions. And the sweep itself can vary, but he's really good at kind of bypassing his opponent's defenses as they hit the mat off the takedown. It's something really impressive. Kind of hard to see what Kainen's doing with the collar grips. He's got the lapel. He's got the grip of the lapel, but it's kind of open and kind of out in the middle of the way. It's kind of obscuring all the details of the hand fighting. It seems that he's got his left hand over the top of the shoulder and kind of searching. There it is, and now he's going underneath. The right hand is also over the top of the shoulder, but it's so high, it's nowhere near the chin or the neck. There it is. You can see now a little bit more exposure as to what's going on. He's gone body triangle as well. That's going to be really difficult to get out of. Just a reminder, of course, the body triangle's not a scoring position in IPJJF. The hooks are a scoring position. You get 2 hooks. And then once you've got your points for the 2 hooks, you can take the body triangle, hold it as long as you like, but you won't score additional points if you unlock the body triangle and go back to hooks.
Zuki nearly getting his shoulders onto the mat here, but still going the wrong way into the body triangle. Sometimes you can spin and face Kynan, but that's very difficult.
I mean, it's hard enough in no gi. Imagine with all that friction from the gi. Nearly impossible, I would say. He has a good grip of Kynan's right arm, though. It seems to be shelved over on the wrong side for him to get choked. So that's good defense from Zuki. There you can see it right there. It's great shot of it about how he's pulled the arm all the way up and over the top. So the threat of the choke is just miles away now. But that said, we have seen Kynan switch it up and also go for arm bars and stuff. So you may see him go for that because he's got a pretty deep underhook. No, he's giving it up. He had a pretty good deep underhook on the bicep. I think we'll see him transition to mount possibly. But Alex to drag him back to switches the body triangle to the other side. Kynan just shuts people down. Oh, now he's going rear naked again. It's palm-to-palm grip. That looks good. That looks tight. That's under the jaw. Oh, he's switching it. He's going full rear naked. Hand behind the head. Big squeeze from Kynan Duarte.
There it
is. Yes. Kynan Duarte. Rear naked choke. Almost 9 minutes in, takes his first ever black belt absolute title. 2023 is off to a bang for this young man from Atos. There's the rear naked, such a huge squeeze. Went from palm to palm gable grip, punched in the rear naked, the traditional kind of hand in the back of the neck, and that was it. It was done.
And there you have it. That is the conclusion of the 2023 IBJJF European Championships. Thanks for joining us. We had a lot of fun calling the matches this weekend, and we'll be back soon. See you next time.